Hey, here we are on the Pond Road, and the sign is depicting that this is an Illinois nature preserve, and it's preserved because we have a lot of plants that need protection because they've been threatened. So these are native plants. That means humans did not bring them here. They came by natural process for over 10,000 years, and they're really well adapted to the environmental conditions that are here. The temperature, when it gets warmer, the amount of moisture that's here, and the amount of sunlight. So we want to make sure that we can keep things healthy so they can thrive.
Hi crew, Jenny here. I'm standing over here by the kindergarten playground to talk about the conditions that are right here that go along with what Mr. Gary was saying earlier about taking care of our natural areas so our natives can thrive. So you can see here, this would be a great area for some native wildflowers, ephemeral wildflowers that need that sunlight before the big trees have their leaves. But there's a problem here. So you can see a lot of this smaller, bushy material here. Kind of looks like a small tree that is getting its leaves right now. So these would be examples of species that we want to take out of here so those native species can thrive. So we call plants like this is bush honeysuckle. We call this invasive. So this was one of those plants that was brought here from somewhere else, maybe for a good purpose, and now it can get out of control in our natural areas. So our job as stewards of our campus here, taking care of it, would be to manage areas like this. So in this aspect, we would want to remove this plant. So we'll show you how to do that.
Hey Jenny, what are you doing here?
Oh, we are getting ready to remove some of these invasive species like that honeysuckle right there.
That one?
That's the one.
Can I help you?
Please, let's see.
Get out of here! Go on! Shoot! Shoot! Go! Go! Go!
Gary, do you think there might be a better way?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me.
Well, let's see. Okay, that was a really good try, Gary, but there's a better way. So you can see I'm ready to go here. I've got some gloves on, I've got steel toe boots on, I've got eye protection on, and what we want to do is let some light get to the floor of the forest. So the top of this plant needs to go, so we're going to cut it. There are some different tools that we can use to do that depending on how big the plant is that we're cutting down. So this one here, this honeysuckle, has some branches that I can cut with the loppers, so I'll do that. When we use loppers, it's anything the size of our thumb or smaller. So these ones can go. I'm trying to cut this plant down as close to the ground as possible, and then when all of it is down, then we would actually treat that stump with herbicide, and that'll keep the honeysuckle plant from coming back next year and being a problem again. So this fatter one here is a little bit too big for my loppers, so for that we use a bow saw like this. So just like the lumberjacks would back in the day, I'll get nice and low and start sawing and cut that fat stem off. And there we have it. Our honeysuckle, maybe one more with the loppers here. Our honeysuckle stump is nice and low to the ground and ready for treatment with herbicide. So here's an example of a native plant that needs a lot of sun. So all of those short green plants there are mayapple, and those are getting the sun they need because this area does not have the understory brush like the honeysuckle that we talked about a bit before. So this is a good example of what a healthy forest floor would look like. Now this woodland in front of the dining hall here is an example of an unhealthy woodland. So all of the green that you see down low is all that understory shrub, honeysuckle, and maybe one or two other species, but mainly honeysuckle. So that is shading out our forest floor over here and preventing those ephemerals from having the light they need to come up.
And the problem plant that we have here is called Oriental bittersweet. There is a native bittersweet in Illinois, but the Oriental bittersweet is a pretty recent introduction, and it is a big problem. It grows as a vine and it twists around things. And you can see on some trees here how they can actually get girdled by the bittersweet. But also is a problem by the ground cover. And that's the problem for a lot of these natives, especially the spring ephemerals need a lot of sunlight. So even when these aren't leafed out, they can grow really thick and shade things out. So I mentioned before, the way to manage non-natives or exotics is to prevent them from coming. But if they're here, then we got to deal with them. And so the technique is to restore the land back to its native condition. In the case of bittersweet, that means cut it out. And that's what the Forest Reserve District has done here. They've cleared it out, they're piling it up to burn it. So this now is all open to sunlight, but this side over here, you can clearly see needs some attention. So thank you, Kane County Forest Preserve, for your help.
Today was a nice sunshiny day, a good day, it's moist, we've had rain, and now's a good time to take out an invasive species called garlic mustard. It grows fast, and it flowers fast, and it makes thousands and thousands of seeds per plant. If we leave them, they keep growing and growing. Before you know it, they take over all the native plants, and then that's called competition. And we want the native plants. So today I'm going to show you a garlic mustard plant, and I'm going to start to pull them out, and I'll put them in the box and discard of them in a safe manner. So as you'll watch, I'm going to go down to a plant. It's a garlic mustard plant. It's a nice big one. You can see it here. It's almost ready to sprout a flower. That's when you want to pick them. What I have to do is go down deep into the root, push down in it until I get the base of the plant, slowly pull it straight out, and there you have it. That's the root of the garlic mustard plant, that's the plant. If I pull it out, it can't grow back. If I just rip it off and just get the leaves, it grows back. So it takes some time, put it in the box. I'll go again to another one, go down deep, pull on the roots, pull it straight up, and with it comes some soil. I can shake it just a little, because I'm not worried about seed right now, so if I shake it, the seeds aren't there to fall all over. And I can do this here at the forested fen. I could take days and days and I'd still never get it all, but it's a start. So I'm doing my part on Earth Day to help protect our native environment.
Thank you for taking care of our woods, Carrie.